Welcome to Cholangio-Hepatocellular Carcinoma Canada's webinar today. We're fortunate to have a prominent physician from Alberta to talk about Wellspring. Dr. Maureen McCall has been a family physician for 37 years, practicing in Kingston, Ontario, and Red Deer, Alberta. Her medical training started at the University of Alberta in Edmonton and included a family medicine residency at Queen's University in Kingston and a master's degree in public health at Harvard University in Boston. During the last 10 years, she has focused on palliative and end-of-life care in hospital across Central Alberta as a member of her local palliative care team at the Complex Pain and Symptom Clinic at the Central Alberta Cancer Clinic, and as a preceptor to family medicine residents and other learners as a palliative medicine consultant at the Red Deer Hospice. She and her husband of 40 years have one daughter, soon to graduate as a social worker, and two foster sons, both studying to become nurses. Maureen has been a board member and Red Deer volunteer for Wellspring Alberta for nearly 4 years. In her free time, I don't think she has much, but in her free time, she loves to hike, knit, and take her dogs for long walks. Before we continue, if you could just please put your questions in the chat box and we will answer them all at the end of the presentation. And welcome, Dr. McCall.
Thanks so much, Brenda. I am unmuted, right? It's my pleasure to address you and give you some information about an organization that's close to my heart. Brenda's giving you a little bit about my background, but I'll let you know that as a family doctor here in Red Deer about, maybe just slightly less than 20 years ago, when Wellspring first started in Alberta, one of my patients who was living with breast cancer went to a weekend retreat with Wellspring, and she came back raving about it and how much she'd gotten from it, and over the years how much support she got from the folks that she connected with through that retreat. And so that's how Wellspring got onto my radar screen. Unfortunately, because all of their programs were in person in the early days, it meant that people from Central Alberta had to go to either Edmonton or Calgary for a program. And if you're a member of this organization, you'll know very well how difficult that could be when you're going through or supporting someone going through cancer treatment. Just the thought of getting in the car and going anywhere, let alone in wintertime in Alberta, is daunting when you have limited time and energy. So as much as I followed what they were doing, I felt sad that not more of my patients could benefit from it. With COVID, Wellspring, like a lot of other organizations, pivoted and learned how to put most of their programs online. And that meant our reach to be able to support people living with cancer, caregivers, and other supporters. It just went so far. And then Wellspring Canada also put their programs online. And now I'll show you a little later in my presentation how you can access either the Wellspring Alberta website to look at programs that might be appropriate for you or the people that you're supporting, or at Wellspring Canada. Through Wellspring Canada, the Wellspring Canada Foundation, you can access online programs from all across the country. So I hope that you'll find that there may be something that's useful and appropriate for you. So I'd like to start just with this short video that gives a personal perspective about Wellspring, and then I'll tell you more about it.
Well, cancer isn't just something that affects your body. It affects your entire life, your mental health, your emotions, your social life, your career. When the cancer actually felt too much, Wellspring Alberta is there. The art programs have given me a way to focus on something creative instead of just thinking about, I have cancer. The exercise classes made the side effects of chemo easier to handle. The music and meditation helped me calm my anxiety. The speaker events actually taught me how to manage my symptoms and what new research is out there. Actually, they even have programs for families, for young adults, even caregivers, and there are some programs that are just for men. Wellspring's Money Matters program helped me figure things out like insurance, income replacement, and medication costs. What more can I say? Doctor saved my body. Wellspring saved my life.
So I think you can see by, or you can hear by that little video that Wellspring is a charity that whose mission is to support anyone who's going through cancer, a cancer journey. Our motto is no one has to face cancer alone. And we have been in Alberta for over 20 years, starting in Calgary and then expanding to Edmonton. And as I said, during the pandemic, creating outreach all across our province. So these numbers will not be a surprise to any of you, but it just emphasizes how cancer is such a huge issue in our society and all across Canada. I think the numbers in Alberta is that 1 in 2 of us will develop cancer in our lifetime. I think across Canada, it's something like 1 in 3. And in Alberta, over 60 patients a day, people a day are diagnosed. So our vision is that no one has to face cancer alone. Our mission is to be a warm and welcoming community that provides a comprehensive range of support resources and programs so anyone living with cancer and the people who care for them can improve the quality of their lives. And we serve individuals living with cancer, those diagnosed, as well as caregivers and their kids throughout Alberta. We do have programs for children, but we have limited programs for children who are living with cancer. That need is really supported through our children's hospitals in Alberta and through the Flames and the Oilers who support pediatric cancer charities throughout Alberta. So our programs are more focused on adults, but we have lots of children who are in our facilities who come with parents, grandparents, and so we try to help families in lots of different ways. So this slide actually is the same for Wellspring Canada. We provide a range of free programs designed to connect people, increase a sense of belonging, ease pain, fatigue, and distress, build strength and mobility, and support financial and workplace challenges. So we try not to duplicate any programs that are already out there by provincial healthcare, other organizations, and we don't have anything that is specifically medically or clinically related, apart from maybe one new program that we're just launching about sleep, trying to improve sleep. So there is kind of a link to cognitive behavioral therapy treatment for people who are really struggling with sleep when they're going through the cancer journey. Our programs all across Canada are available online. And as I'll show you in a few minutes, I'll go to the Wellspring Canada website and show you where there are in-person programming in a number of places in Ontario and Alberta. And we also have a chapter in New Brunswick. So these are our places in Alberta. I understand that there may be at least one other of you besides Brenda who's here in Alberta. In Calgary, we have the first freestanding facility that was built with donations is called Karma House. It's near the Foothills Hospital and the new Arthur Child's Cancer Centre and the University in Calgary. And then in the south end of Calgary, near South Campus Hospital, is the Randy Odell House. In Edmonton, sort of between Southgate and the University of Alberta is the Cross Cancer Institute is the Edmonton House. And then we have a huge online house where we have online programming. And in the last few years, we've really pushed, had a big push to increase rural and regional in-person programming as well as online. And as you'll see, we now have in-person support groups, and we're soon to have other programming available in Lethbridge, Red Deer, Medicine Hat, and now Grand Prairie. So we don't need to dwell on this history. This is specifically for Alberta. Wellspring Canada was in existence before 2007. You know, it's a small world. My high school home ec teacher, Mrs. Stiffier, and one of my best friends growing up in Lethbridge, Dick Stiffier, her son, his brother, Dr. John Stiffier, who was a Calgarian, decided to try to launch a chapter of Wellspring in Calgary when he was living with pancreatic cancer. And so John Stiffier, together with two other people in Calgary, worked really hard to create a chapter in Calgary and raise the funds to build the in-person facilities. One of the reasons that Wellspring focused on having a totally separate facility is that they found that many people going through cancer treatment really appreciated and wanted a place to go that didn't look or smell or feel at all clinical. They didn't want to go back to the cancer center or their family medicine clinic or a church basement. They wanted a place that felt like it was for them. And if you do have a chance to visit a Wellspring house, is how we call them, you'll immediately have a feeling of being welcomed, lots of light, lots of bright colors, really engaged volunteers. Usually you can smell fresh banana bread that's just come out of the oven. So it feels totally non-clinical, which is a big help for a lot of people. For Wellspring Alberta, and I have to say, honestly, I don't know at the policy level Wellspring Canada, but I'm a board member of Wellspring Alberta and have been for the past almost 4 years. These are our non-negotiables in delivering the services, that we are available to all cancer patients with any cancer diagnosis, that all of our programs are based on evidence of what is effective, what works, what has been investigated. We pay our facilitators. And so if you do a yoga class, you will be led by somebody likely who is a yoga practitioner who has done extra training in yoga specifically for people with medical and healthcare needs, and specifically cancer. They will be totally attuned to what things are safe and not safe, and how to do different kinds of exercise or activities to make sure that you don't hurt yourself. And the other thing is that everything is offered free of charge. So to access Wellspring programs, people just have to become a member. It's, if you've been able to get onto this Zoom presentation today, you will be able to do it. It's not difficult. You just fill in an online application form to become a member. And you can become a member as someone living with cancer, someone who's a caregiver of someone going through a cancer, or we have people that call themselves, and I think the category under the membership application is supporter. So we have cancer clinic staff, nurses, oncologists, palliative care physicians, family doctors, people that are volunteers with Wellspring, but their link to cancer journey is far behind them. And so those folks can all join. There's no charge, but as a board member, it's I need to let you know that most of our, in fact, the vast majority of our funding comes from fundraising. So we do ask if it's possible for people to make a donation, whatever they can afford when they join a program. And that at that point may be zero, but at some point in the future, they may be able to support our programs. And we have fundraisers that include things like every year we have something called the Can Survive bike ride. I've participated in it twice so far, where we go on a long distance bike ride in the mountains and raise funds for Wellspring. Then we have a new fundraiser that just started this year, where volunteers learn how to and then rappel down a skyscraper in Edmonton. We had the mascot for the Oilers, which was quite amazing. This young man dressed in the full. It looks like a lynx, by the way, if you don't know who the mascot for the Oilers is. He had his giant furry head on and his big suit, and he rappelled down a building in the Ice District in Edmonton. We had physicians, oncologists. We had the city councilors from Edmonton. So it was really a great way to raise awareness about the issues facing people living with cancer diagnosis and to raise funds for us. And we have various other fundraisers throughout the year, but it's mostly through individual donations. This map just shows you some of the, and this is a few years old now, just towns and cities across Alberta where we have members. So it's not just Edmonton and Calgary anymore. So you can sign up as a member. You don't have to have a medical referral, although I'll say most of our new members come on because they've been told about us by their doctor, by a nurse that they're involved with through the cancer center. And our cancer clinic nurses here in Red Deer have been very, very supportive. We've had volunteers from our small group sitting at a table in the foyer of the cancer center, offering information, hard candies, refreshments, and support to people coming in for their chemo and radiation. And when they're ready, they're welcome to stop at our table and learn more about us. When the cancer clinic nurses send out those letters showing, your follow-up appointments and the schedule of your appointments, they have been stapling a bookmark with the information about Wellspring to that. And on the back of it, we've got a little sticker saying where our support group meets, which is at a library here in Red Deer twice a month. And then once someone becomes a member, they get a phone call. And I think that's one of the things that I really have learned over the years I've been involved that people appreciate is that you get a phone call from a peer. So there's a special training program within Wellspring for peer support. And those folks that spend hours every month connecting with new members on the phone have either been through a cancer treatment themselves or have supported a loved one through it. And so they know where people are coming from. They just reach out, answer questions about what Wellspring offers, and they can help new members navigate the system to say, well, what I'm really struggling with is X, and those peers are able to say, we got a program for that, or I'd be happy to connect you with somebody who can help you with that. Or if we don't have something in Wellspring that focuses on that, we may be able to recommend another agency or another organization that can help people with those things. And then members can participate in programs and services online. by phone, again through phone support, and in person at the various locations. So this slide tells you about programs in Alberta. The numbers would be higher if you went all across Canada, but we have developed and we offer actually over 70 programs right now. And as I said, it's evidence-informed, led by experts. When we have a new program that we've heard of or members bring to us that they're interested in, we investigate it through our program committee, of which I am the chair here in Alberta. We then, if it looks like it meets all of our criteria and a need, we then pilot it with small groups and get their feedback about whether it's working for them or not. And then eventually, if it pans out, that becomes a regular program that we offer. Over the years, programs wax and wane. There's more or less interest in very specific programs, so things may change little by little, but we always have many, many programs available. So all of these little circles tell you some of the areas that we focus on with our programming. Symptom management is a big one. And we have lots of gentle exercise and gentle movement programs, as well as educational talks around symptom management. One of our very most popular programs is called Brain Fog. And I believe it's either a 6 or an 8-week program led by a fantastic facilitator, working through understanding why you may be feeling like your brain is not firing on all cylinders when you are going through or recovering from cancer treatment, why that's happening, what are some strategies to work around it, how you can help yourself overcome some of those aspects. That is a super popular program. We have finance and workplace strategies. Again, one of our most popular programs is called Money Matters, where very highly trained social workers who know absolutely every support program, financial benefit, how to fill in your tax filing when you are going through a cancer treatment, how to apply for compassionate leave benefits, time away from work, how to return back to work, strategies to help you get back to work when it's time to go back to work, or if you have to negotiate a different kind of work schedule because of the effects of your treatment. Quite a few self-development and educational programs, and that includes something that I've seen that on your website, that you guys have some excellent speakers, including Cindy, who I know very well from my years on the palliative care unit in Red Deer. One of our retired social workers has given a number of talks to your organization. We have kind of a TED Talk style sessions, and I think they're called the Be Well Talks, and people can, and even as a non-member, you can just attend that talk online if it's a topic that you're really interested in. And over the years, those topics have been things that are very specific to certain kinds of cancers when there have been great leaps forward in treatment, for instance, with, immune modulating treatments, like for melanoma and leukemia, and also more general topics. Our exercise programs are really popular as well. Edmonton House actually has a huge gym that they've purpose-built in their basement, led by some of the kinesiology professors that first started the Alberta Cancer Exercise, or ACE program, that my husband and I participated in when he was recovering from his cancer treatment. And they include programs for different age groups, for different energy and mobility restriction, but people find them really helpful to get moving, keep moving, and increase their strength and improve their function when they're recovering from cancer treatment. Therapeutic arts have included music and art. In Edmonton, the Felting group is very popular, and that group has created some spectacular works of art that you can actually see on the walls of Edmonton House, where they've created in needle felting images from famous paintings like Van Gogh's Starry, Starry Night. People just love that. Edmonton also has a harp orchestra. They were donated something like 50 learning harps where the strings are color-coded for the notes to make it easier to learn how to play the harp. And I've been amazed that even after 3 sessions, people are playing beautiful, recognizable music on the harp. We have a ukulele band, a choir, and then the individual and group support for very specific issues that people are facing is also very popular. And all of these same categories of programs are available nationally. Okay, there, go there. So we also have programs that try to support unique needs. In Alberta, we have a Indigenous healing circle that has been very well attended and appreciated by Indigenous members of our community. Families with kids love to have activities where they can include their children. And a big gap that we saw in the whole cancer support network included young adults. And so our YACs, young adults living with cancer, in Calgary have a wall climbing group. Now people at first may be able to just climb up the very first handholds and footholds, but if they can't physically do it very much, they just enjoy hanging out together in a totally normal young person space. And all of those programs are led by facilitators that are in their age group. We've had young adult camping weekends, bowling nights, pizza night, game nights. I think there's a picture at the bottom of the slide of one of the game nights, and those are really well received. And also for community members who may identify with a minority group who feel that they want to be in a safe place where they can talk about their experience. There we go. A new program in Alberta that's just piloted and now starting to be launched is our South Asian Cancer Support Group. It was also seen as a huge gap that people whose native language was Hindi or Punjabi which is very large population group in both Edmonton and Calgary. We're finding it hard to access cancer support that they could access in their own language and that they felt comfortable going to and bringing family members. And so that is going quite well. I've already told you a little bit about our peer support program, and I think anybody who's been through a cancer journey can relate to this. This is a quote from our Indigenous Cancer Sharing Circle. It's been absolutely unbelievable, a life changer for me. As we are sharing our stories and experiences, we know it's a safe place. Everything's kept confidential. To hear other people share their challenges or issues is comforting. It reaffirms that you're not in this scary situation by yourself. And these circles are always co-led by an elder or a knowledge keeper within the Indigenous community. I've already told you a little bit about money matters. These are some of the things that the experts working in money matters will help review with people, trying to find drug coverage, planning for return to work or early retirement, whatever that looks like, finding other community resources, doing advanced care planning. And, you know, there's nothing like a cancer diagnosis to make people say, gee, maybe I better make sure all that paperwork is updated. Some numbers again for Alberta, and these are a couple of years old. Well, I think we're over 200 communities now in Alberta, and huge positive feedback that we get from our members. Another quote from a Wellspring member: "Cancer has been one of the most difficult things I've ever been through, but being able to participate in Wellspring programs has been profoundly important. They've helped me find my way through the impossible days and allowed me to celebrate the good days since my diagnosis last summer. Wellspring is a community I hope to be part of for many more years." When we started, I mentioned a little bit about our funding. We're a registered charity. Most of our support comes from the generosity of individuals, families, some foundations and corporations. Just in the last year, almost exactly a year ago, after a lot of work and filling in forms and connecting with Alberta government, we got a grant to help for 18 months to help really solidify our outreach to Grand Prairie, Medicine Hat, Lethbridge, Red Deer, and I believe we've got a couple other communities on our horizon. But we've never had provincial or federal funding in Alberta for 20 plus years. So we really rely on those donations. Our volunteers are the heart. As we said, we all have a volunteer at every program to help welcome people, to answer general questions. We keep statistics on everything at Wellspring, so they take attendance. We have a whole new evaluation hub using online tools like SurveyMonkey to allow people to give feedback about what was good, what's working, what's not working for them with programs, to try and keep improving the quality and focus of our programs. And how can you help? How can you help us? Well, we'd love to have you join Wellspring and see if there's programs that would be appropriate and useful for you. I'm grateful to Brenda for giving me this opportunity to help spread awareness about Wellspring and what we do. We're hoping that we will be able to share information about your group on our website, and you can put us on yours. And we do have a social media presence. I personally have nothing to do with social media, but if that's your thing, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook and all of that stuff. If you're in Alberta or you come out here, feel free to set up a visit to one of our houses. If you yourself would like to speak about, for instance, hepatobiliary cancer, your group, about new research in this area, we'd be happy to look at scheduling a speaker from your group to our Be Well talks. And we do have a newsletter that comes out regularly that you can sign up for. There we go. So this last slide is for any questions and also has the contact information for our current outreach manager, Michaela. I'll also put my contact info in the chat box if people have specific follow-up questions for me, or if I can connect you to anything. And if I can get the chat box to show up here. I'd also because we're just at what, 10:40, I'll be happy to take some questions now, but I'd also be happy just to spend a couple minutes to show you the Wellspring Canada website. Should I go ahead and do that, Brenda?
Yeah, please do that.
Okay. So, well, now I need to end the slideshow, move this so I can actually see that. There we go. Okay. So the Wellspring Canada website is just wellspring.ca. Very easy, wellspring.ca. In Alberta, it's wellspringalberta.ca. But for instance, this, if you put this into your search engine, this is the site that you'll get, and you can look at all the online programs that are available Canada-wide. We have this virtual center, and I'll take you there. This is actually funded. Some of the costs of running this national website is funded by TD Bank. But let's say you said, well, I want to learn about some of the online programs. This is a relatively new search engine, but for instance, you can say, I want to know just about online programs. I'll be interested in just about anything, but maybe I'd be especially interested in symptom management for people living with cancer. I live in Alberta. Chinguacousy is Brampton, Ontario. Then there's London, Ontario, the Niagara region, so St. Catharines, Welland, Hamilton, and also New Brunswick. And there is a Toronto also region that's under this Wellspring Cancer Support Foundation. So this will show where are all the programs at. If you say, I live in Calgary in the Northwest, I'd be interested in Karma House or in Edmonton, or I want to know what's available in Grand Prairie, Lethbridge, Red Deer, Medicine Hat. There we've got Toronto, Oakville, Toronto through Princess Margaret, Toronto through the Michael Garron Hospital, Greater Toronto area offsite where they've got, specific places where they've got in-person programming, Brampton, London, Stratford, Niagara, Moncton, and New Brunswick in French and in English. And yeah, you can actually just, if you're not sure how to navigate any of these drop downs, you can just put in here financial, for instance, and say, okay, let's just change this to all. And you'll see that there are well, this gave us some sort of more general things, but yeah, category. There we go. So finance and workplace strategies, there's multiple of those that are online for everything from legal and employment matters, resumes and interviews, returning to work. And, the money matters online is probably better that you connect with someone in your area if possible, because there may be different provincial programs and forms and things like that. So, as I said, you can register for any program. Oh, sorry, I wanted to just go back to membership. Show you guys a membership. Getting started there. So just go to if you're interested to join, just go to getting started, and then it'll walk you through very easily. I'm living with cancer. Register now. And then you just fill in your, create a registration and a password, create an account, and then you're off to the races.
So one question in the chat box, which kind of relates to this, is could a person from another province join one of the provinces if they don't have a program in their province? Does that make sense?
Well,
What
I
province
think they can just join Wellspring Canada, and then you can attend any program that's offered online by any organization. So let's see. Okay, here, let's register for program. So once you're a member, then you can say, I want to attend the, let's just say all. I want to, so this shows all the online programs that are available across the country. And it may, yeah, it'll say which organization is actually hosting that. So for instance, the here's Adventures in Arts. This is sponsored by Wellspring Alberta, but there's specifically an art therapy program. You could click on that, learn about it, say, is that interesting to me or not? And this is supported by the National Foundation. Then this program, there's a Be Well speaker, and Wellspring Niagara is hosting that. And that one is going to be February 18th, and it's called Become the Watchman. So you'd have to log in and check and see, is that a topic that's interesting to you? You can see from these little banners, it tells you which target groups might be interested in this talk. So you can attend any program that's available across the country online by becoming a member at wellspring.ca. And if you live in an area where there is in-person programming, I would encourage you to become a member of, Wellspring Ontario or Wellspring New Brunswick to be able to attend those ones in person and get more. You will get emails that'll tell you what are upcoming programs in your area.
We have a question. One other question I have for you is if you could put can you put your questions in the chat box and then we'll read them out to Dr. McCall? But how can people in other provinces launch chapters of Wellspring?
So that's not something that I could give you a lot of background on, but I certainly know that it's happened in all the places that you've already seen. You could certainly reach out to Michaela, whose name and information is on this last slide. But probably the more direct way would be to go to the wellspring.ca, Wellspring Canada Foundation, and just there'll be lots of places where they'll say, do you have questions, who to direct that question to? And someone could help you to find other people in your area who may also be looking for support and may want to create a group there.
I think we have somebody that's wanting to put a question in. So we just ask that you put them in the chat box if that's okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm happy to expand on that. We actually have had what we call our Cancer Connect group in Red Deer for 2 years. It meets 2 Tuesdays a month at the Daw Library in Red Deer. That's on the northwest corner of Red Deer. Yeah, there's a meeting room within the library. It's one Tuesday is over the lunch hour, and the other Tuesday is like late afternoon from 5 to 6:30 or 5:30 to 7. Sorry, I'm not don't have the timing exactly in my mind, but if you please, we'd love to have you become a Wellspring member. And if you can navigate through the website yourself, great. And just create an account. You will then get a phone call from a gentleman you may have seen sitting at that table in the Red Deer Cancer Centre, Brett. Brett was our very first connector in Red Deer to connect people to Wellspring, and he shares with everybody. So I'll share with you that he's been living with multiple myeloma for almost 20 years now and still going through regular treatments to control his cancer. But he is also an IT whiz. So if you see him or one of our other volunteers sitting at the table, they can help you register or walk you through. If you are able just to join as a member, you'll get a phone call either from Brett or Sharon, two of our cancer connectors here in Red Deer, and they can answer all of your questions. And on the Wellspring Alberta website, you can find information about the exact timing of the groups in Red Deer. They're both led by trained facilitators. One of our facilitators is a counselor and also is a bereavement specialist and works with me at the Red Deer Hospice, and the other is one of our social workers who works at the Cancer Centre. So usually what happens in our Cancer Connect groups, wherever they are, is that usually each meeting there may be some topic, and the facilitator may have an activity associated with that topic. It might be just giving people a little intro to one of the other programs in Wellspring, or it may be a guest speaker. We've had in Red Deer speakers come to talk about filling in your tax return and what kind of receipts you have to have and what you have to show with all the expenses of going through cancer treatment, and what to do if you get audited and which things you have to hang on to forever and which you have to hang on to for a certain number of years. We've had speakers who've come and talked about exercise programs, all sorts of different things. Sometimes we've got a topic and the facilitator may have some videos or something to show related to that topic, but someone comes in and says, this happened to me and I really need to talk about it. And that's what happens in that meeting, is that people just talk about whatever's most important to them. Every Wellspring Cancer Connect group always makes sure that in that hour and a half that's set aside, half an hour of that is just for tea and cookies and chat and connection after the formal part of the group. So people look forward to that as much as anything else. So yes, we already have that Cancer Connect group in Red Deer at the DAW, and coming very soon to both Red Deer and Lethbridge are two more in-person programs. One called Compass for the Caregiver. It's a program that was designed and run by, sorry, there's my dogs leaving to welcome their master home. That program is specifically for people that are caregivers, and I believe it's a 6-week program that goes into specific topics around the psychological and physical strain of caregiving, many of the issues that caregivers face, financial and practical, and support to people acting as caregivers. And that is facilitated and led by an organization that developed this program specifically, and Wellspring, it just brings it to our different communities where we have a Cancer Connect group. And coming soon to Red Deer and Lethbridge will be a gentle yoga for people living with cancer. And we're in negotiations right now with a terrific and very experienced yoga instructor in Red Deer, and trying to find an appropriate facility to have that. Great. We look forward to seeing you in Red Deer. Yeah.
Does anybody else have any questions? There's no more in the chat box. I can't tell.
Yeah, I'm looking at the chat box. I don't see any new ones.
So thank you very much, Dr. McCall, for giving your presentation today. You gave so much really wonderful information. I forgot to mention in the intro that I know Dr. McCall on a personal basis because I had the privilege of working with her at the Red Deer Regional Hospital. So, and she's very knowledgeable, and you've seen that she's a very compassionate and knowledgeable person yourselves. So, two topics or two comments that we often hear are the brain fog, the pain management, and the financial help. So that's really good to know that we can send people even online from any province to your programs.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
really appreciate it.
You'd be
Yeah.
welcome.
So thank you very much.
My pleasure.
I don't think, yeah, don't see anything else. Okay, thank you very much for attending today, everybody. Oh, and I get the thank yous from me too. Yeah, wave.
Thanks so much.